Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making fan art. I'm not really good at drawing this character because I never drawn her before, but I'm willing to give it a try. So let's get started. The character I'll be drawing is Anna Williams from Tekken. I decided to make fan art for Anna Williams because it was my brother's birthday and that's his favorite character on there. But my favorite character would be Nina. I feel like she's the better sister, but he is always saying she's not. I'm just doing a simple sketch out of what kind of pose I wanted her to do. At first I wanted her to do the same pose as the reference I was using, but then I changed it a little bit. I kept changing my mind, but then I finally stuck with the pose. You heard someone yell? That was my brothers playing. They just got new ninja stuff, so now they're playing with it. Can't wait to get a PlayStation 5 so he can play Tekken 8. But I heard that Anna might not be on there. But hopefully they keep my favorite characters like Kunimitsu, Nina, Lucky Chloe, and Lars and Noctis. Noctis is my favorite out of all the boys. Second would be Jin. Anyway, back to the art. I'm working on the torso. I was working on the torso, and now I'm sketching out her outfit. She seems to always have an open chest area, so I'm just going to work out that, her arms, and try to make it look like from perspective angle, like that it was her upper half body was bigger than the other half, because she was leaning forward a little bit. And I wanted to make it seem like the wind was blowing too. I was going to add some leaves later on. Now, I was going to try to copy her pattern for her dress, but that dress was a little complicated. Nibis does have patterns, like cloths, that I can use, but I decided to go with something else. Let's talk about the character. Anna Williams has one sister, Nina Williams. Nina is a blonde-haired girl, and she wears a black suit. Well, Anna always wears dresses that I've seen. I heard that Anna has 2 kids, but I'm not sure if that's just made up. Let me know in the comments, is it true that Anna has 2 kids? I wanted her dress to be like in a flowy motion, like the wind was blowing it. But I'll change that later to a little bit closer. More clothes. Now moving on to line art. I like using the deep pen because it's smoother and the texture is really good. I was gonna make her wear a blue dress, but I never see her wear a blue dress, so I just stuck with reddish, pinkish, orangey colors. Just to stick with the character, because I don't want to go off too much, then people might not be able to tell who it is. Hopefully you guys can tell who it is. I'm trying my best. And if you're wondering what app program I'm using Ibis Paint X. Just in case some of you were wondering. I'm gonna start trying to use Clip Studio Paint because I always see ads saying that's where the professional artists use. But I'm still trying to figure it out. There's way too many buttons on there. They have a simplified version, but Ibisc is more easier for me. I'm inking her bangs right now. I was gonna make her have a flower in her head, but flower wasn't really turning out so great, and I didn't think I should add it. I wanted this to be like a fall themed picture because fall is almost over and I haven't really drawn anything for fall. And now winter's coming. It's gonna be even colder. I decided to make her have earrings And now I'm onto the coloring process. When I'm coloring my art pieces, I go over the line art. Like, I get another layer and I set it under, so that way if I put it over, it might cover the line art. But if I put it under, then I can easily see what I have to erase. And it doesn't matter if I draw over anything because I can just erase it and it won't affect the line art. And I didn't fully draw her hair, her head, I mean. Now I'm on her dress. I was gonna decide to make it red, but I changed my mind. I should have probably kept it red, but let me know what you guys think in the comments how the dress turned out at the end. I think it looked pretty. Now I'm onto her eyes. I think her eyes were brown. I didn't really have a good picture of them, so I decided to make them like a hazel brown. Like the sun was shining on them a little bit. Out of the whole process, I guess my favorite part would be coloring, like shading. That's always my favorite part because it feels like the picture doesn't come to life until after you add the shading and the highlights. Now I'm just adding the sparkle in her eye. I turn my brush down, the opacity of the brush, and I'm using the hairbrush in Ibis Paints. They have mini brushes that you can use, but they're not free. You'll have to either get a yearly subscription or a monthly subscription. But they say you can watch a video and get all the brushes for free for 18 hours. That's what I always do. Now I'm just adding a little shading under her hair. Gave her a little makeup. I'm not sure if she wears makeup, but I just decided to add it on there. And the shading on her top lip didn't look so right. And the shading for her, it kind of looked dull, so I changed it to a more warmer orangey peach color. Because I wanted it to feel warm, not just basic. If you have a favorite character in Tekken, I would love to hear about it. You can post it in the comments and I'll read your comments. So, well, the shading is, well, basic. Told you I'm gonna change it later. Decided to shade the fingers, but I added highlights to them too, but the highlights didn't look right. I think I took them off, I can't remember. But even if the highlights are still on there, they still look okay. I tried to make her arm like shiny, like sort of 3D, since the character is 3D. So I just added highlights on the side because the brush wasn't working right. I added highlights to the tips of everything. Then I should have never added highlights to the thumb because it was close to the dress and that's where the shadow would be. Adding highlights to the chest and the other shoulder. And her nose. I was gonna add some to the side of her face, but it didn't look right since the hair is supposed to be blocking right there. So there's only should be shadow. Now I'm on to shading the dress. I'm using a dark red, and I just go over the parts that I think should be shaded, but I'm not really sure what should be shaded. I just eyeball it. I eyeball a lot of things because I don't know what they should look like. I was thinking of drawing myself into some more anime scenes. You guys can let me know in the comments what kind of anime scenes you want me to draw myself into. I've done it before, but this time I want to show you guys the process. And now this is the part where I change her dress. Ibisque has a flower brush, and I set the opacity to her red dress section, and it covers the whole thing. It doesn't even go outside the line. And now I'm trying to make the background. Sadly, I didn't get the rest of the footage because I ended up changing the whole entire background. Except for I kept the tree, I just changed the leaves a little bit. And this is the fan art I made for Anna Williams. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the process of my fan art. That deserves a round of applause.